I'm Courtney Wagner, and this is In the Game. I'm here with Keath Sawdo, a senior wrestler at Clay High School. Thanks so much for being here.
No problem.
So what got you started with wrestling?
Growing up as a kid, I was in soccer and everything, and after a few years of that, I got taken out for, running into kids, getting a little too rough with them, so my dad put me in football, and then I like the one-on-one scene because when I was younger, I also did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so
Oh, wow.
kind of want to get back to my roots with that.
Sure.
And so in junior high, I found my coach, Coach Reap, and the wrestling team there, and from then on, it's just become my thing to do.
Absolutely. So how long have you been wrestling now then?
This has been my 6th year.
Okay, and I'm surprised to see that it's only your 6th because you are placing so high at these state meets.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me, I know this is your senior year, you ended really well. Tell me a little bit about how this year went, but then also how the past 3 years have been.
As far as this year, building off of last year, I came in with the mindset that I'd be somewhere on top, Last year I got 5th in the state tournament, so I came in with the mindset that, I'm gonna dominate the scene. Anybody who wants to, come and try to take what I work for, I pictured that as kind of a challenge, So overall this year, I went through some hardships in the middle of the season, some rust that I had to shake off a bit, but overall,
was that more physical obstacles you had to overcome, mental obstacles?
Mental, definitely.
Okay.
I was in great shape, but sometimes I'd let opponents get into my head,
Sure.
some certain factors, but in the end, I think I conquered them.
Absolutely, and I know too with wrestling, it's a rigorous sport. Your guys' training, I was in the rink, whatever you guys call that, the wrestling room with you guys one day. It is intense what you guys are doing. Walk me through a little bit of what a daily practice consists of. I know you have everything from fireman's carries to just match after match after match.
Well, for a normal day, what we usually do, we warm up on the mat for around 15 minutes, just stretches, and then grab a partner and do some drills. We start out light, just with some, little movement, not really much squeezing with the muscles and everything. And then midway, our coach sometimes he'll ease into it, and then other times he'll just come out of nowhere and tell us, get 3 takedowns, 10 seconds, go, and we're like, oh, okay. And then, from there on, practice really starts at the bottom and builds its way up. Near the end, on days when he wants to go light on us, it drops off, but really we just increase the pace as time goes until we're, drenched in sweat.
Sure. So it almost gets more exhausting as the practice goes on.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I know too, the physicality is one side of it, but I also know we've chatted before, and you're a very healthy person as far as your diet and other things. Tell me some of those habits that have kept you in such good shape.
Going into this season, I built off of what I kept up doing with last season. I kept a diet that had, if it did have any kind of fat in it, it was good fats, like with some nuts and stuff, just some good energy putting into myself. I tried to stay away from sodas and stuff, which was hard at times, but I kept it up throughout the season. I'd hang out with my friends and they'd just crack one open and I'd get the little urge, But whenever my parents went out to eat, I get something that's grilled, never fried.
Sure, and when's the last time you've had like a candy bar?
Well, now it's off, after the season, just yesterday, so.
What about before the season ended?
Building on, I think not last summer, but the beginning of my junior year.
So you went over a year without sweets.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Way more self-control than I have. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
And I know too, your hard work's obviously paying off. You're getting recruited. Tell me some of the schools who are looking at you. Who are you looking at? What are you thinking for college?
We've got some offers from some places around, some around in Florida, Southeastern. There was one in Alabama that looked pretty cool, but out of all of them, I think the letter that I got from App State interests me to the most because it's a D1 school, and I figure if I am going to wrestle in college, I'd want it to be at the most competitive level just to, really reap the most benefits out of it. So, out of all of them, that's what really caught my eye the most.
Definitely. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it big.
Exactly.
What are you going to major in for college and your hopes for after career-wise? Or is that a loaded question?
A little bit. I'm considering doing what my dad does. He's a general contractor, so going into that scene would be, you know, a pretty good road since he could teach me the ropes. And I've already had some classes that deal with generally what he does, so it'd give me a little bit of a head start in college. So there's that option, but I want to give it a few days to think about, you know, just sit down.
Definitely. It's a big decision, and you know, it's such an accomplishment getting recruited by a D1 school. What do you think separates you from other athletes? What do you think makes you different?
If I take a look at other sports, more specifically, like say football players in our school, they always carry around like they're the best thing since canned bread, you know?
Right.
But it's that kind of spotlight that they get that gives them that. And I think with wrestlers, and personally me, since we don't get that, that's not what we work for. We don't work to get noticed by others. We work for just have our own self-respect go up, you know? So I just like to keep myself at a level to where I know that I'm good by the things I do, the things I work for, and how I work for them, and how hard I pursue them, rather than the benefits of others seeing me.
Sure, so working for yourself and being your own self-motivator, I think that's huge. What's some of the best advice maybe Coach Reap or one of your coaches have given you?
Definitely this past season, I had a really bad match in this one tournament near Buchholz. It was a good kid I wrestled, and throughout the match I was just real nervous, real stiff, didn't want to move. I walked off the mat, and Coach Reap grabbed me. He's like, "You're not going to win a state title by doing that. You're not even going to make it to the finals by doing what you just did. You need to open up. It's just a wrestling match." And when he told me that, I looked at him a little bit. I'm like, you know, how could you say that? It's just a wrestling match.
How could you say that?
But later on he told me that, you know, I just need to let go and grip a lot less than what I do, you know, so help me relax and to, you know, more think about what I'm doing whenever I'm in the match. So I think that's what really helped me get to where I ended up at.
Well, and you ended up in a great place. Thank you so much for being here today, and best of luck to you in college and your wrestling career.